Call to order the Ascension Parish Council meeting for Thursday, August 2nd. If everyone please stand for the prayer given by Ms. Sherry Kinchin.
Heavenly Father, we ask your guidance tonight as this council gets together to take care of business for the citizens of Ascension Parish. We ask that you watch over our men and women in uniform and keep our families safe from harm, and the children who are getting ready to start school have a successful school year. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Kinchin. Roll call, Madam Secretary. All members present. Chair's additions. I don't have any additions. I do, however, have an item we will pass on. We were going to pass on item number 10, the cooperative endeavor agreement with Methanex. That is not yet ready. We will move on to item number 4, public comment sign-in period. This is a reminder, if anyone wishes to speak, please come in and sign in with the secretary, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak on that agenda item. Item number 5, presentations. Do we have any tonight? No, we don't. Okay. What about parish president's report? No? Okay. There also are no items on the consent agenda, so instead we'll move to number 8. It's a resolution for the 2012 Lake Pontchartrain Basin Restoration Program. I'll need a motion. Motion by Councilman Kluwat.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Gazzo. Any discussion? Any objection? That motion passes. Item number 9 is a resolution for fiscal year 2012 and 2013 Substance Abuse Treatment Grant.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Kluwat. Any discussion? Any objection? That item passes. Item number 11 is a resolution to authorize the parish president to sign an agreement with LA DOTD for LA Highway 3089 lighting project in Donaldsonville, state project number H01054, and parish project number ENG-11-001, located in lighting district number 2.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Shakespeare.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection?
I'd like
I'm
to
sorry,
say something.
Councilman Shakespeare.
This is something that we've been working on for about 4 years and going through all of this back and forth with the state and everything. And I want to commend Mr. Brian Martinez, our engineer, we had a lot of roadblocks, and he picked up the ball and figured out how to make this happen. So thank you, Brian. He went above and beyond. There was a lot of different entities to bring together, and so we're trying to figure out how we can get some lighting on the road. Things have changed in the last few years, and so it's not as easy as said and done. So thank you, and glad to move forward on this.
Okay. Any other discussion? Councilman Kluwat.
Yeah, where does this lighting extend to it from?
This is on the 4-lane highway from where the Walmart is to the school. Hopefully one day they'll have enough monies to go and continue on.
Okay. Is there any objection? Hearing none, that motion passes. Item 11-1, Intergovernmental Cooperative Endeavor Agreement between the State of Louisiana through the Department of Transportation and Development and the Parish of Ascension, State Project Number H.002370, Federal Aid Project Number H002370, LA 42 Widening and Improvements, Route LA 42, Ascension Parish.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? That motion passes. Item number 12 is the item we just covered in the prior meeting, the approval for road lighting districts number 1 through 6 to call an election for the purpose of authorizing the renewal of a 5 mil tax for a period of 10 years beginning in 2013 for the purpose of providing and maintaining electric lights on streets, roads, highways, alleys, and public places in said districts.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Kluwat.
Second.
Second by Councilman Oliver Joseph. Any discussion? Any objection? That motion passes. We'll move into our introduction of ordinances section. Item number 13 is an introduction of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium-intensity residential RM to mixed-use 2 MU2, lots 2-A, 3-B-1, and 1-B of Autumn View subdivision for Ascension Parish, located on the east side of Autumn View Drive, approximately 300 feet north of Highway 42. Chair would entertain a motion to introduce.
Motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any objection? That ordinance is introduced. Item number 14, introduction of an ordinance, an amendment to the Ascension Parish Development Code and zoning historic site overlay revisions.
Motion to introduce.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert to introduce, and a second by Councilman Randy Kluwat. Any objection? That ordinance is introduced. Item number 15 is an introduction of an ordinance, the industrial zoning designations, revisions of the Parish Unified Land Development Code.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Brian Melanson,
Second.
second by Councilman Kent Schick-Snyder. Any objection? That ordinance is introduced. Number 16, introduction of an ordinance for overlay zones to revise language in the ordinance and to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert,
Second.
second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any objection? That ordinance is introduced. We'll move into our public hearings and ordinances section. Item number 17, budget amendment number 2, an ordinance to amend the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2012 operating and capital budgets for the Parish of Ascension adopted by the council on the 17th day of November 2011. Mr. Parrington.
An ordinance to amend and continuing approving, adopting, and appropriating 2012 operating and capital budgets for the Parish of Ascension adopted by the Ascension Parish Council on the 11th day of November 2011. Section 1, the Ascension Parish Council hereby ordains that the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating 2012 operating and capital budgets for the Parish of Ascension is hereby amended, approved, and appropriated as follows. Operating budget, general fund revenues, increase $50,000 by state HB 1. Rebate state sales taxes, $50,000. Expenditures, legislature, 02.02. Salaries increased to $269,000 per ordinance adopted in May 3rd of 2012, $28,000. Professional software has increased $15,000 for Novus Agenda software, $15,000. Operating supplies, $9,500 for computers equipment, $7,000. Sheriff Public Safety, 202051. Probation and juvenile expenses increased to $470,000. 220,000. Appropriations 02495, state appropriations, House Bill 1. Appropriations, Ascension Parish Church Commission, 25,000. Appropriations, Ascension Parish Fair Association, 25,000. Engineering 02499, travel, which is the increase, 27,000 for training engineers, $20,000. Recreation expenditures and other financing uses, acquisitions, building lands to increase $325,000 for the purchase of 6.9 acres known as Jimmy's Lounge per ordinance adopted May 21st, 2012, $155,500. Transfer out Oak Grove Construction Fund balance increased $40,000. A resolution of June 21st, 2012. Construction project started in 2011 but not finished until 2012, $40,000. Transfer out Park Construction Skate Fund from fund balance increased to $15,000 for construction projects started in 2011 but not finished until 2012, $15,000. Lamar Dixon revenues, rebate state taxes increased to $559,000 by state appropriations, HB 1, $3,000, $9,000. Concession revenue increased by $250,000, $200,000. RV rentals increased $550,000, $150,000. Grants increased $157,000 for LGPA grant, $57,000. Expended salaries non-exempt increased to $290,000 for part-time concessionaire workers not in budget, $70,000. Concessions expense increased $100,000. Appropriations increased to $206,900, $149,900 for balloon festival, and $57,000 for LGAP grant for purchase fans, $206,900. Maintenance fund, 70 expenditures. Major repairs increased $351,000 for chiller at Lamar Dixon, budgeted for 2011, work not done until 2012, $143,500. Capital budget, fire district number 1 construction, 61 expenditures. Architect increased $7,500 for construction projects started 2011 but not finished till 2012, $700,500. Contract payments increased to $167,500 for construction projects started 2011 but not finished till 2012. Oak Grove Construction Fund 88, revenues transfers in, Recreation Fund increased $40,000 from Recreation Fund for construction project $40,000. Expenditures, professional services increased $16,000 for construction projects started in 2011 but not finished in 2012. $16,000 contract payments increased to $65,000 for construction projects started in 2011 but not finished in 2012. $65,000. Park Construction Fund $90,000. Skateboard revenues transfer in Recreation Fund increased $15,000 for Recreation Fund for construction project $15,000. Expenditures, professional services increased $2,000 for construction projects started in 2011 but not finished in 2012. Contract payments increased $18,000 for construction projects started in 2011 but not finished in 2012, $18,000. This ordinance having been submitted for a vote, the ordinance therein as follows. Motion to open public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing by Councilman Benny Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Randy Clywat. Anyone wishing to speak, please come forward. You'll have 3 minutes.
Motion closed.
Motion to close by Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Chair would entertain a motion to move the ordinance.
Motion to move the ordinance.
Motion to move the ordinance by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion? Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the Lamar Dixon Balloon Festival, I had spoke to Brad Walker, who is the president of the festival, I guess, committee that someone formed several years ago. And under my impression that he was going to give back the money to the parish. This was about a week ago I spoke to him. I know it's in here, 149, I think 100 was state money. But since the state canceled the balloon festival, and I think the parish or this committee is the one that's hosting this balloon festival, not the parish, not the state, he said that it was all going to be provided by private donations. And I was just wondering, I see it's still in here, that's my question.
Mr. President?
I can tell you what I know about it. Basically, is that we did get $100,000 that was in House Bill number 1 to go to the balloon festival. So that's state money. It's one-time money that doesn't have to be paid back anything. The parish, we brought it before you, and I think it was $49,900 that the parish agreed to put up. From what I understand at this point, that the balloon festival is going to go forward now with the event, September 21st and 22nd.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Brad did tell me it was going to go forward with private donations.
Right.
That the money that the parish give would be sent back to the parish.
Right.
And I just was
I
wondering,
haven't-
did we hear any of this, you know?
I talked to you,
It's not-
I talked to you
it's not
about
the
that.
event- It's not the event that it was planned to be, the
Right.
state balloon festival. It's just Louisiana. It's just Ascension Parish Balloon Festival, you know, and
Yeah.
he said they were going to go for private donations instead of using parish funds for it.
Well-
So that's the last that came from Brad.
What we need to do is ask him to come to the next meeting and explain,
Yeah.
if that's okay.
That would be
Because
great.
I don't
That
know
would be
if I
great.
can answer your question on that part. I can answer to you where the revenue came from, and basically.
I knew we'd give it to him, and I knew where it came from.
Right, but,
After talking to him, after the cancellations took place, things changed a little bit on, you know.
And he didn't tell me personally that he was giving the money back, so I don't know. So maybe we'll just get him up here and let him answer that question.
That'd be good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Councilman
I
Joseph?
guess, Tommy, I mean, the question I have is, basically, the state had put the money in and we was gonna upfront the money to, you get the money into our account. Basically, that's what it was like, right?
That's
Correct?
it. But the money is dedicated to give to the balloon festival
All right, but
in
that was our,
Ascension Parish.
yeah, but that was our position to just give it up front till
Right.
we get our money back.
We're gonna
From
get
the
our
state.
100,000 back, Todd, on that part. The only thing that's at jeopardy is the 49.9 is what you're asking. Am I correct in assuming that?
That's correct.
Okay, okay.
Okay. That's
Okay. Any objection? Hearing none, that ordinance is adopted. Item number 20 Ordinance number 1, to adopt the adjusted millage rates levied upon the dollar of the assessed valuation of all property subject to ad valorem taxation within the Parish of Ascension for the year 2012. Need a motion to open the public hearing? Motion by Councilman Randy Kluwat. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Mr. Parrington needs to read the ordinance first.
Be it ordained by the Council of the Parish of Ascension, Louisiana, in a public meeting held on August 2nd, 2012, which meeting was conducted in accordance with the open meetings law and the additional requirements of Article 7, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and RS 40:1705B, that the following adjusted millage rates be and are thereby levied on the dollar of the assessed valuation of the property subject to ad valorem property taxation within the parish for the year 2012 for the purpose of raising revenue. Adjusted millage, parish tax 2.83, parish tax Donaldsonville 1.41, parish tax Gonzales 1.41, health center 2, mental health program 1.98, library maintenance 4.16, library maintenance number 2 2.58, rural lighting district number 1 4.99, rural lighting district number 2 1, rural lighting district number 3 4.99, rural lighting district number 4 5, rural lighting district number 5 4.98, rural lighting district number 6 5, rural lighting district number 7 4.98, East Ascension Drainage District 4.95, West Ascension Drainage District 5.32, West Ascension Drainage District number 2 4.66, Parish Council on Aging 1.49, Fire District number 3 9.76, Fire District number 3 number 2 9.76, Utilities District number 1 ACUD 9.99. Be it further ordained that the assessor of the Parish of Ascension shall extend upon the assessor roll for the year 2012 the taxes levied herein, and the tax collected parish shall collect and remit taxes to the taxing authority in accordance with law. The foregoing ordinance was read in full, and the roll was called on adoption thereof, and the ordinance was adopted by the following votes.
Motion up for the public hearing by Councilman Lawson, second by Councilman Kluwat. Motion to close by Councilman Kluwat, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Motion to move the ordinance.
Motion to move the ordinance by Councilman Lawson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance passes. Item number 23, ordinance number 2, to adopt the 2012 increased millage rates not in excess of the prior year's maximum on all taxable property shown on the official assessment roll for the year 2012.
Be it ordained by the Council of the Parish of Ascension, Louisiana, in a public meeting on August 2nd of 2012, which meeting was conducted in accordance with the open meeting law and additional requirements of Article 7, Section 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and RS 47:1705B, that the taxing district vote to increase the millage rates, but not in excess of the prior year's maximum rates on the taxable property shown in the official assessment roll for the year 2012, and when collected, the revenues from said taxes shall be only for specific purpose to which the tax has been levied. Said millage rates or parish tax 2012 adjusted millage rates 2.83, 2012 2.86. Parish tax Donaldsonville 1.41, 1.43. Parish tax Gonzales 1.41, 1.43. Health Center 2. Mental Health 1.98, 2. Library maintenance 4.16, 4.20. Library maintenance number 2, 2.58, 2.60. Road lighting district number 1, 4.99, 5.0. Road lighting district number 2, 1. Road lighting district number 3, 4.99, 5. Road lighting district number 4, 5. Road lighting district number 5, 4.98, 5. Road lighting district number 6, 5. Road lighting district number 7, 4.98, 5. East Ascension Drainage District 4.95, 5. West Ascension Drainage District 5.32, 5.33. West Ascension Drainage District number 2, 4.66, 4.67. Parish Council on Aging 1.49, 1.5. Fire District number 3, 9.76, 10. Fire District number 3, number 2, 9.76, 10. Utilities District number 1, ACUD 9.99, 10. Be it further ordained that the assessor of the Parish of Ascension shall collect upon the assessment roll for the year of 2012 the taxes herein levied. The tax collector of said parish shall collect and remit same to said taxing authority in accordance with law. Foregoing ordinance was read in full, and roll call was called upon the adoption of the ordinance, and thereof was adopted by no less than 2/3 of the total membership of the taxing authority in favor of in favor as required by Article 7, Sections 23C of the Louisiana Constitution and RS 47:1705B. The votes were
Motion to open the public hearing by Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Randy Cluett.
Motion closed.
Motion to close by Councilman Shake Snyder. Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Motion to move the ordinance by Councilman Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Cazzo. Any discussion?
Yeah, the ordinance we just passed was to keep the rates where they are now, right? So,
The ordinance we just passed prior to this one, yes,
Correct.
was to keep the rates where we are now, yes.
So-
I'm sorry, that was to keep, no, the ordinance we just passed, the first one, is to...
keep the dollar amounts where they are, right?
Is to put the rates where, where they...
The adjusted
with the
rates,
adjusted
the
rates.
dollar amounts where they are
without the
now,
roll-
correct?
Yes.
So this one,
This is the one to roll forward.
so can you pass both ordinances that do
Yeah.
two opposite things?
Yeah, this is the process. You actually have to adopt them first, and then decide whether or not you're going to adjust them.
Okay. Well,
Can you explain that on here?
I can't support adjusting any taxes to raise taxes on anyone without them having a chance to vote on it. I mean, it's no different than us passing a tax form. So I can't support it.
Okay? Councilman Shake Snyder?
It's not a tax increase. It's continued the millage as it is. It's a process by state law that requires us to go to the same amount and to roll it forward, same thing that the sheriff and the school boards and everyone else does. And the idea of a property tax is to it be self-sustaining, so as property values go up, the increase in cost are passed along through the entities, so you don't have to go back and increase incremental taxes. And so that makes it sustaining, so that as the library board's expenses would go up, they receive a correspondingly amount of increase in the property taxes to be able to keep up. So all it is sustaining what we have now. It's not, no different from if we would limit the amount of sales tax that we would have from this day. Also, by the way, there are a number of occasions that this goes through over the years that our property taxes go down in total amounts. And so it fluctuates up and down. So there are some years where the total amounts go down, some years where the total amounts go up, and as long as millage stays the same, you're getting the same. And that all depends on from there.
Okay. Any other discussion? Any objection? One objection?
Object.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Madam Secretary, please.
Councilwoman Cazzo.
Yes.
Councilman Cluett.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Joseph.
Yes.
Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
No.
Councilman Brian Malosson.
No.
Councilman Satterly.
No.
Councilman Shake Snyder.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
The vote being 7-3, that reaches the two-thirds, and that ordinance is adopted. Okay, we'll move on to item number 26, to declare as surplus and authorize the sale of miscellaneous movable equipment. Mr. Parrington.
Yeah, you need 8, you need two-thirds vote, so the councilman, the chairman either has to vote. You don't, did you vote?
Two-thirds would be 70, that'd be 70%, correct? 7 of 10?
It's of the.
Sorry. The chair would entertain a motion to reconsider that item. Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Cluett. That we will reconsider that item and let the record reflect that I will vote in favor of that ordinance, yes. So that ordinance makes the two-thirds then 8 of the 11 and passes. Thank you, Mr. Parrington. Would you please proceed with reading item number 26?
You ready?
Yes, thank you.
To declare surplus and authorize the sale of miscellaneous movable equipment, whereas the Parish of Ascension has certain assets that are no longer viable to retain, whereas these assets no longer have any public purpose, whereas the Parish of Ascension desires to declare said assets as surplus and provide for the sale and transfer of the same, whereas be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Council acting in its capacity as governing authority, it is hereby declaring the listing of assets attached hereto made a party as Exhibit A as surplus and authorize the sale and transfer of the same. Severability, in the event any portion of the ordinance is either held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction, or that such ordinance shall be deemed a separate and distinct independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of the ordinance. Effective date, the ordinance shall be in full and effect as permitted by law. The ordinance has been submitted to the vote. The vote is thereon as follows.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman Benny Johnson.
Motion to close.
Motion to close by
Second.
Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Lawson. Motion to move the
Move the
ordinance. Motion to move the ordinance by Councilman Lambert, second by Councilman Lawson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Item number 29, to amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Chapter 19, Roads and Bridges and Other Public Ways, Article 3, Pipelines Construction, Sections 19-36 and 19 through 19-42. Mr. Parent.
To amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Chapter 19, Roads, Bridges, and Other Public Ways, Article 3, Pipeline Construction, Sections 1936 through 1942, where Ascension Parish is a local government subdivision is defined in Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution 1974, and whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body for roads, bridges, and other public ways, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 19, Article 3, Pipeline Construction was last amended April 19, 1996. Now therefore be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority in the Code of Ordinances of Ascension Parish, Chapter 19, Roads, Bridges, and Other Public Ways, Article 3, Pipeline Construction, 1936 through 1942, be repealed, replaced, and adopted as follows. Article 3, Pipeline Construction, 1936, permit required. No person, firm, partnership, corporation, public or private, shall construct or cause to be constructed a facility consisting or a pipe or main of any kind, including but not limited to gas, petroleum products, liquids, vapors, water, sewage, drains, cables, or any group segment thereof, or on or over through the parish-owned road, right-of-way, canal, drainage ditch, levee, bayou under jurisdiction of the Parish Council of the Parish of Ascension, Louisiana, hereinafter referred to as the parish without having first previously obtained a permit from the parish in the general manner hereinafter prescribed. Application for permits by Section 1936 by this ordinance shall be made in writing to the parish. Such application may be made in the form of a letter and shall contain a clear description of the facility, its purpose, plan, specifications, location, map location, name, and address of the owner, its representative designated by such owner, who may be contacted by the parish on all future matters related to the construction, installation, and maintenance of the facility. In addition, such application shall be accompanied by the following: a certified cashier's check and the bonding of the amounts of Section 1944 through 1945 below in a letter of compliance with this ordinance. Within 30 days after receipt of an application which meets the requirements of 1936, the applicant shall receive a construction permit or be advised in writing why the permit cannot be issued. Before construction begins, certificate evidence and liability in the amount of $1 million of satisfactory evidence of financial responsibility in a like amount shall be furnished to the parish by the applicant, as well as evidence of insurance coverage for all loss, injury, responsibility, or peril for claims arising under the workers' comp laws of the state of Louisiana or any other statute of the United States of America. In addition to the specific requirements set forth in this section, all plans, specifications, materials, and installation of any pipeline for which a permit is granted required by 1936 shall comply with all parish, state, federal guidelines and procedures for construction and safety. Any pipeline or segment thereof, on or over or through the parish road, owned or right-of-way, shall be laid at a depth at least 6 feet. A depth of more than 6 feet may be required based on the individual application. Alternatively, the applicant may case the pipeline to such specifications if the parish or desires not to place the pipe deeper than 6 feet beneath the roadway surface. If excavations are required, if required to backfill and tamped by 6-inch layers, adequate drains maintained at all times during the installation of pipelines. Markers shall be installed to mark the location of all pipelines on parish roads and rights of ways in public project. Pipeline crossing a parish-owned drainage ditch or canal or any bayou under jurisdiction of the parish shall be laid at a depth of 5 feet beneath the lowest point of the ditch, canal, bayou, or depth more than 5 feet may be required on individual applicant. Alternatively, the applicant may case the pipeline to the specifications of the parish if it desires not to place pipe deeper than 5 feet beneath the surface. Markers shall be installed to mark the location of the pipeline. Any pipeline which crosses the parish-owned levee shall be constructed in accordance with the latest applicable regulations, specifications of Louisiana Department of Public Works. The owner of any pipeline constructed hereunder shall conduct an annual inspection of the facility. Upon doing so, owner shall notify the parish in writing that the inspection has been made. Any pipeline which crosses the parish-owned right-of-way will have a minimum wall thickness of 1/2 inch of unseamed pipe. The parish or its delegate may designate a special exception to any requirement for subsection A of this section upon showing that the fulfillment of such requirement would impose undue hardship on the owner of the pipeline, or such requirement is inappropriate due to the existence of special conditions. Any exception granted by the parish or its delegate may be conditioned in any manner deemed necessary and appropriate. Within 30 days of completion of any facility for which a permit is required under 1936, whereof the permittee shall file with the parish or its delegate a sworn declaration of the completion properly identified with the application and permit, certifying that the facility and its construction or installation are in accordance with the plans and specifications approved by the permit, or any supplement permits which may have been issued. The declaration of completion shall be accompanied by a map or plat or form acceptable to the parish or its delegate showing the location or portions of the facility which are located on public projects. Any project facility which a permit is required by 1936 shall be inspected by the parish or its delegate both during and after completion. If any such inspection reveals any substantial deviation from the requirements of this ordinance or the plans and specifications committed with the application of supplemental application, the permittee shall be required to rectify such deviation at the sole cost and expense at its holding, and the parish or its delegate shall supervise and inspect remedial work. Should the permittee fail to commence remedial work within 30 days following notification, or here remedial work has been timely started or has been completed within a reasonable time, the parish or its delegate may have the work performed at the expense of the permittee. When any public project for the parish is initiated, which requires a relocation, raising, or lowering of a segment of pipeline which is constructed on existing parish road, right-of-way, canal, drainage ditch, levee, or bayou under the jurisdiction of the parish, said relocation or change shall be at the sole cost and expense of the owner of the pipeline. Standards. General, all pole lines shall occupy at least 2 feet of the right-of-way behind the ditch. Line crossing the roadway shall have a minimum vertical clearance of 20 feet. When supply of communication lines are placed in underground casing conduit, the standard for pipelines shall govern. Clearance types of construction or the specifications shall be in accordance with the provisions of the National Code for Supply and Communications Line. Deposit requirements. Make 2 checks, one for the deposit fee and one for the permanent inspection fee. The amount of guaranteed deposit required in connection with the permit for such pipeline shall be calculated from the following schedule: total length of pipe, size in inches, and amount of deposit per mile. First mile, 500 feet. Next 4 miles, less than 8 feet, 500 feet. Next 4 miles or part 8 or over 1,000 feet. Each additional mile over 8, 250. Each additional mile or part over 8, less than 8, is 250. Each additional mile or part 8 or over 500 feet. The amount of guaranteed deposit required in connection with this permit for the communication of this pipeline shall be calculated with the following schedule: length, amount of deposit. Crossing the roadway, $10 per diameter inch of pipe, $200 minimum deposit per crossing. Parallel to roadway or right-of-way, less than 1 mile, $100. Parallel to roadway or in right-of-way, each additional mile or part thereof, $25. The amount of deposit shall be stated on the permit application. Permitted inspection fee. The amount of permanent inspection fee required for connection with permit of pipelines or supply communication line shall be calculated as follows: initial minimum fee of $200 plus $15 per road crossing each, $15 per each stream crossing. Parallel to right-of-way, $15 per mile. Re-inspection fee of $15 per road crossing the stream shall be charged when the requirements of permit are not met with the first inspection. The amount of the permanent inspection shall be stated on the permit application. This permit is to be available at the site and where the work is being done. Deposit requirements. No permit required for the provision of this article shall be issued unless and until the applicant has on its file the parish a bond of $5,000, conditioned to indemnify the parish for any loss, liability, or damage that may result or accrue from, because, or making existence, a manner of guarding or constructing any such excavation. Such bond shall have a surety of corporations licensed to do business in the state of Louisiana or a surety company. No permits required by the provision of this article shall be issued unless and until the applicant, for a deposit with the parish, a cash deposit of $250. If no payment is involved, $1,000. If the excavation is to be paid, to ensure the proper restoration of the ground, laying the pavement, if any. From this deposit shall be deducted the expense of the parish for restoring the surface of the ground or pavement, and shall make a refill if done by the parish at its expense, and balance shall be returned to the applicant without interest after excavation is completely refilled and the surface of pavement is restored. If any section, paragraph, sentence, clause, or part of this ordinance shall be declared unconstitutional, altered, be raised, or otherwise invalid, the remaining part of the ordinance shall remain in full force and effect. All ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict hereby are hereby repealed.
Motion to open public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing by Councilman Brian Lawson, second by Councilman Dan Satterley.
Motion to close.
Motion to close by Councilman Lawson. Second by Councilman Satterley. Need a motion to move the ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
Motion to move the ordinance by Councilman Lawson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cazzo. Discussion, Mr. President?
Yes, I had, if anybody had any questions on this, I had asked Mr. Parrington to prepare this, and if you recall, we had Parker Road roundabout, and we had to stop construction on that project because it would cost us $1 million to case a pipeline that was in the right-of-way. With this, with a half-inch pipe and no seams, you won't have to do that. And it'll also be a lot safer for the residents of the parish now that we've started on this standard. So I just wanted to explain why this was done.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion? Okay, is there any objection? Hearing none, that ordinance is adopted. Item number 32, to declare as surplus 15-foot of abandoned right-of-way portion of Toledo Avenue and a portion of Pelican Crossing, third filing. Mr. Parrington.
To declare as surplus 15 feet of abandoned right-of-way, a portion of Toledo Avenue and a portion of Pelican Crossing, third filing. Whereas the parish of Ascension owns property more particularly described as the Day attached to it, made a part hereof. That was initially a 15-foot right-of-way portion of Toledo Avenue and a portion of Pelican Crossing, third filing. Whereas the Ascension Parish Council, the powers granted under the Home Rule Charter, have authority to declare property belonging to the parish as surplus and transfer abandoned said property according to law. Therefore, be it ordained that the parish of Ascension declares a 15-foot right-of-way being a portion of Toledo Avenue and a portion of Pelican Crossing surplus, proceed with abandonment of the property, and authorize parish president Tommy Martin as to execute any documents for the disposal, transfer, abandonment of said property. Effective this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. The ordinance has been submitted to a vote. The vote therein are as follows.
Motion open.
Motion over the public hearing by Councilman Dan Satterley, second by, Councilman Lawson. I do have 4 speakers that have signed up so far. First will be Mr. Brent Stevens.
Richard James, on behalf of Pelican Crossings, we want to appreciate the council taking a look at this and helping with our, since the road has been open, keeping our crime rate and traffic and safety of our children and families in the subdivision, and also the values of our investments as our homes. And with the more of the development that can come to Pelican Crossing with the extended property that's behind, we like the consideration of go ahead of the closure of the road with standing. We do appreciate y'all. Thank you.
I did actually have a comment card from Mr. James. Does anyone else wish to speak? Or you speak, let's see, Mr. Stevens?
I'll wait.
Okay, passes. Mr. Redden?
Good evening. My name is Robert Redden. I live in Pelican Crossing, and I just want to take the opportunity to thank the council members who have gotten familiar with this issue at hand here tonight. I've been going to a lot of these meetings since this has been going on, and I would like to say that I have a lot of better appreciation for the job that y'all do. I've been watching and following, and I understand that some of the things that y'all have to do are really tough. I would also like to thank Mr. Scheck-Snyder for always returning my calls. We could be aggravating sometimes, I know, but he returned every call that I made. He granted every request for meetings with residents in the neighborhood, and we all do appreciate that. And I would like to end by saying that I would really like for y'all to adopt this ordinance tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The last speaker is Mr. Nizo. Okay, he's going to go ahead and pass. Thank you, sir. Motion to close the public hearing by Councilman Johnson. Second by Councilman Kluwat.
Move the ordinance.
Motion to move the ordinance by Councilman Schexnayder. Second by Councilman Randy Kluwat. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Councilman Lambert. Motion to adjourn. Second by Councilman Johnson. We are adjourned.